The word of the day for today's episode is going to be diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. That's 3 words. Oh, we have diamonds. Believe me, we have diamonds by the boatload. So welcome back to another episode of Hermitpack here on the Hermitpack Hermitcraft modded Minecraft 1.10 server, and we have successfully built a diamond farm. Check this out. It's also an end crystal farm, which is another pretty cool item to get just by building a farm and getting them automatically. Look at that. I know some of you are going to be thinking this is crazy, but remember, it's modded Minecraft. Diamonds probably aren't as valuable as they are in vanilla, but I do not mind seeing that many diamonds in my inventory. That is more than I have in vanilla Minecraft, which is crazy. And I got a lot more down below in our base, which we can't see. But if you didn't catch the last episode, the deal is that we made this farm and unfortunately it didn't work. And then I figured out what the problem with it was. Now, I got a ton of comments from people saying that what I should do, and there they go, well, watch this thing in action. What I should do is disable them from teleporting by using a mod that stops shulkers from teleporting. That is not what we want to do here, because teleporting is actually part of what makes this farm work. So if we activate the spawner in the middle so that we can see the range, you'll see that our farming stations are actually outside of that part of the farm. So this red area is where the shulkers are going to spawn. They spawn in air and then they teleport, so we don't want them to not do that. They teleport to this 1x1 space where they will be harvested or killed or damaged or whatever by these spikes when they extend outwards, which they do when they see a player, and they also just do it of their own accord as well. So teleporting is actually a really big part of that. And so the fatal mistake that I made is not realizing that these guys need a 1.5 space to spawn. So this one is facing upwards. It actually needs half a space above it as well, which it has when it spawns in the airspace in the middle. So that's kind of it. Everything else should make sense. I want to show you though what I've done to get lots and lots of spawns going. We've been using blaze power, but also I've upgraded our capacitors. Now, we started out with me putting these capacitors in the machines, which actually don't do anything to it at all. It's when you upgrade them that they actually start to make a difference. So this one says increases energy storage and speed/range of machines. If we go to the one at the bottom and we play around with this, we've got a burn rate, which means the speed it burns at and how much it's generating, and also how much it can store. So let's take out this capacitor. We've got 100%, we're generating 20 RF per tick, and we can store 100,000 in the machine. If we put in this one, nothing changes. It's probably a bug that you can even put it in there. When we go to the double layered capacitor, you'll see that we double the amount of fuel we're making and we increase the burn rate and the amount of storage as well. When we go to this one, the octadaic, is that the correct way to say it? We also then increase the storage and the amount of RF per tick. So we're providing this thing with an insane amount of energy, and it is spawning the shulkers frequently. And so I've left this thing running in a chunk loaded area. You can see this is chunk loaded, and then I've been filling this up with probably no more than, let's say, 7 or 8 stacks of blaze rods at a time. So we can now just drop down to our base below, leave this thing alone, and it's going to continue farming those shulkers for us, which is just fantastic. And I tell you what I cannot wait to do right now is to craft all of these diamonds up into diamond blocks and then see what they look like in chisel. Right? But anyway, check this out. Bam! What an insane amount of diamonds! Oh my goodness me. That is why we made this farm, and I tell you what, I spent a lot of time, didn't I, trying to get it to work. I got a big smile on my face right now. None of that matters anymore. We got a crazy amount of diamonds. Let's get these crafted up and check out what they look like with chisel. I don't think I've ever crafted diamonds that fast in my life. Well, anything really. I love that little plus button, so click on what you want to craft, click on that, and then you can grab all of them. Pretty cool, right? I've got to say it, I am pretty disappointed with this. They don't have the same colour as the vanilla diamond. It doesn't show off the wealth in the same way, you know. And here's what they look like when they're placed down. They're alright, they're pretty cool. I'm not sure if some of them are connected textures or not. This one right here I really like. I don't know how I'd use that in a build, but it just looks very cool. And they don't look very diamondy to me, you know what I mean? But either way, that's all of the diamond blocks. I'm still very happy about our diamonds, believe me. And I think what we're going to do next is take a look at our blaze farm again and start looking at automating the collection of some of the items up there and the automation of power in our base as well. So what we need to achieve is wireless power. And the way we're going to do wireless power with Ender IO is actually to make wireless fuel, which I think is a pretty cool way of doing things. And this is the crafting recipe for this mod right here from Multi-Storage that has these ender chests, which are not the ones that I've used in the past. And for those of you that have played modded, you can tell that this is sort of based on a different mod and it works the same way. These little bags, by the way, go to your ender chest and they don't stack, as you can see right there. They only cost leather and an eye of ender as well, so they're a pretty cool little alternative. And then this is the way that we craft them, and what you get when you use a coloured wool is 3 of the same type of colour, and that'll make so much more sense when we place this down. So bam, there we go. Now the way that the old ender chests work is that you had 3 different colours and you could make it private by putting a diamond on it. So this will be public, meaning it's like a public channel where these colours, yellow, 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 can be accessed by anyone. But if I put a diamond on it, then it means that it's assumed as yellow, yellow, yellow. So we're going to do that, and we change the colour of the chest, and you can see there's nothing in it. And what I decided we would do for our fuel is go yellow, white, yellow, like this. So if I shift click on that, which is what I keep forgetting to do here, you can see we changed the colour of it. So it works like the old system as far as I can tell. And in here there are some blaze rods, and this is going to be our chest for fuel. So what we need to do now is pump that fuel into this chest, and then wherever we place one of these chests down, we can take fuel out of it again. So down here all we need to do is add this, and I might rearrange what I'm doing here to make it look a little bit more organized later on. But with one of these pipes we can put it into, let's see, extract modes like that, and then this one will be on insert. No, sorry. Oh, yeah, insert, like that. There we go. Right, so now it starts to transfer the blaze rods from here down to there, which is good because this thing was getting full up, as you can see. And does it take out random items? Because there's just some there that's gone missing. It's like it's ignored all of this and started from here. How odd. But anyway, this is now going to fill up, and it means that we can put this on our shulker farm up in the sky, and that's how we get power to it. And as well as that, we're also going to upgrade this, and we're going to do it by putting this thing back in. But you'll see now that I put on luck free. So that works the same way as fortune free. In fact, you can even see it written there. And that was all of our modifiers, and I don't think there's really any other modifier we need on here other than sharpness to potentially kill them quicker. So soon we'll be leveling up and we'll be getting another modifier, but for now it just means that we get more blaze rods. So this chest is light blue all over. I do just want to say though, these strips around the outside, they kind of look pretty ugly compared to the old way that things were done, and you can see that both our end crystals and diamonds are being transferred out. So what we'll have to do is hook this up to something that separates them and puts them into deep storage down in our base. Because there is a pipe on top of this chest, it means that you can't open it, so we're going to have the same problem in a second when we put an item conduit at the bottom here and then put one of these. That drives me mad. That is the launch enchantment. I need to get rid of that from my boots. Can we place you just underneath? Yes, there we go. So that's been connected. Okay, now the items are going to go from below to up above, and this thing has blaze rods. And then they're going to be automatically fed, meaning that this is now pretty much going to run around the clock until we run out of fuel, which is unlikely, but it will happen if I don't keep farming the blaze rods. So now what I'm thinking about is how can we make this work even faster, because at the moment we've only got one of these generators powering our spawner. The way we're going to do it is with a capacitor bank and some energy conduits, and I've sort of gone above and beyond, overboard here. Like, I didn't even crunch the numbers. We're going to use 4 Stirling generators at 80 RF per tick. That's going to be 320 in total. So over here you can see that these ones do 640, right? And that's the basic level. We've gone for the top level, the most expensive. And I've done the same with the capacitor bank as well. There's a different range of them, and the one that I've chosen is the top range, and the max input output is 25,000 RF per tick. I believe that's the same amount that it stores as well. Actually, it's 25 million. Well, that's a crazy amount, and that's going to sit just below the farm up there. And we'll hook all of that up in a moment. I do just want to show you, though, this stuff was expensive. If we go look at this thing, you can see it uses 4 of the octadaic capacitors, and then that just takes you down the rabbit hole of crafting and making all sorts of different ingots. But while we've been preparing that stuff to set up in the sky, I've been doing some modifications down here. Check it out, we have a new storage unit. This one is the quantum storage unit, and it can store up to 2 billion items. So that's basically never us going to have a problem again, right? So we have 6.3 thousand diamonds right now, which is just amazing. And what I've done is I've hidden this little ender chest down there, and then we have an item filter, and that sends the diamonds to one side, and it sends our end crystals, yes, that's what they're called, it sends those ones to the other side. So let's plug that up. I decided to craft a few more of them. They are very cheap. They cost 3 obsidian, 1 chest, and 5 iron. And I put a few more of them down here as well. So we've got almost 6k blaze rods, we've got 3.8k molten cores, and 2.8k solidified experience. Aha, False is here. She was asking for some nether warts, and we had an ender lily farm down there, and I decided to repurpose it because the torturino didn't affect the ender lilies, and it looks like it doesn't work with this either. You see, the ender lilies wouldn't work with these mechanical users. They wouldn't be harvested, and it turns out the nether warts, they don't like them either. What's interesting about this though is that some of our other crops that we have, when you left click them, they will be left in the ground fresh as if they've just been replanted like that, and that doesn't happen with the nether warts. So it's not the sort of farm we can really use automatically, but if we need a few nether warts for now, we can do it manually. So here it is. Now that I've put it together, I do believe the capacitor bank is kind of unnecessary actually, as it just sort of sits there holding on to extra energy, whereas all this stuff could feed straight through. So below that there is one of these conduits and one of the item conduits. We could always just put them in that place and then double the amount of these generators that we have, and they'll keep pulling from this chest, which I can't open. I'd like to see if it's affecting the amount of blaze rods in there. I'd imagine not. And you can see that we are producing a fair amount of energy, slowly filling up the capacitor, and this thing is currently full. Now the glass and the torches will block all of the spawnable spaces. The reason there are 4 torches is because we're trying to disguise that the one torturino that we need, and I could have put that at the top, but then you'd need to make the range bigger, so just trying to be as friendly as possible. So now what we're going to do is click that, and we're going to quickly place that there, and looks like they are spawning a little bit faster maybe, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one does. I can't open the interface again because I put that block there. So yeah, that is definitely faster than it was before. Of course it is. Awesome. But we're not done with this farm just yet. Oh no, I've got another way that we're going to get some more diamonds out of these shulkers. And that is with diamond spikes, which we have right here. You can see it does player kill only items. Now we're already getting our diamonds and our end crystals as well, but this means that we would get XP, so we could collect XP from the farm. But my buddy Efo on the server was telling me you could enchant these, and I thought, amazing, we can put looting and we can put sharpness on them, kill them quicker, get more items, all is good. So I was looking at what we'd need to do to get looting, and it is the Enderman head. So I started investigating the cleaver, but before I got too carried away and went on a trip to the end, I decided to check this first, and I think this applies to a previous version only, as you can't enchant it, and also if we go over here to the anvil, you can't put enchantments on them, which is a little bit of a shame. So maybe that's something that will come back in the future, I don't know, but I'm a little bit disappointed and glad I didn't craft a ridiculous amount of diamond spikes. But it prompted me to investigate the cleaver. I've had many comments from people saying that you can change out the materials that you use. So this one has a manual blade, or large sword blade, and we want to swap it out because it gives us a property, this one right here, insatiable, that we don't want. It says during combat you deal more and more damage but also consume more and more durability. So that means that this thing runs out very, very fast, making it pricey to repair. So if we were to change it to this, you can see it gets superheat, but it doesn't lose insatiable. And I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intended. And another thing I'd like to point out is that you lose a little bit of damage as well. So it is like it's been swapped out, but you keep the property that that one added, which is really unfortunate. But since we're not going to the end, I guess we don't have to worry about that right now. It's been a while since I last went mining, to the point that I've run out of redstone, and this gal here is going to give me some redstone dust, I think. He's sort of facing the other way. I've got some diamonds for him, though. Where's he going? Apparently, all of this is for me. If you're wondering what's in the top left of my screen and why Iskau is glowing, this is some stuff we're going to do ourselves later on. Custom beacons, basically, is what's going on here. We better give Iskau his diamonds. A stack of diamonds! He doesn't know I've got a diamond farm, though. No one tell him. And we'll throw him the rest. And yeah, I'm only going to take a little bit right now, because I don't like to rely on other people's farms. Just want to use a little bit to get us to the next step. So I needed that redstone to craft a few things and upgrade our farms. And by the way, we are now down to 3.1k blaze rods. When I logged in this morning, we had 0 because the shulker farm had been running overnight. And I believe we got around 24,000 diamonds, which is just incredible. But it prompted me to craft some wireless receivers and some wireless transmitters. So let's see if I can get this right. We've got 2 on the same channel there. There should be like one more receiver. Why am I missing one? Did I leave one back here? That's a little bit odd. Anyway, the way that this works, and I'm not sure if I can do this right now. Yeah, let's put this transmitter down. So when you craft these, it gives them a channel. This one's channel was number 7. If we pick up the receiver, which is linked to this one, and we shift click on it like this, then it will set it to channel 7. So let's place that down. This is our receiver. The other one is our sender or transmitter. So if we put a power source there, you can see it wirelessly sends it over here. So what I've set up here is a little bit of a panel for us to activate farms with, and both of these are being powered at the moment. We've got a diamond block for our shulker farm, and then we've got a meat block which is made out of netherrack for our cow farm down below. So let's tidy this up. I don't really need to go up top and show you what's going on up there. It's quite simple. There's just a piece of redstone and one of these receivers, and I've also linked this up down here, but this time we've done it differently. You see, what we've got is some redstone paste. So in this game there is some sticky redstone that allows you to attach things to the side of a block. Looks like we're having a little bit of a problem here. Surely that thing... Oh, I see, it's full up. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I turned it on a moment ago to test this. So yeah, there's our receiver. The reason it's at that height is because, let's show the range. If we put it lower than this, oh, actually, I'm not sure if the cow would spawn on top of that or not. That's something that we don't want. I guess I'll have to investigate that another time. But with it facing downwards, it powers the paste, which is on the side of the block. If it were the bottom facing up, the cow might spawn and get stuck on top of it, was my thinking. So here is the paste. You can see it's quite cheap. For those two, you get 4 pieces, and you can also use it on repeaters and comparators as well, which is really cool. So you can put them up the side of blocks. Now I've also gone and hooked up our wireless power, or better yet, wireless fuel right here, and we've got an octadiec capacitor in here. So what we can do now is take this little template and hook it up with the other 2 areas that I've carved out for farms. I just need to decide what I want to do, and I'm thinking I need to get some resources, so I'll go mining, hopefully find some spawners. Maybe we can make a silverfish farm on one side, which would mean some iron, and maybe a zombie pigman on the other one for gold. The first part of this is now done. I've been on a nether expedition, which is the way I always do these things, because we get some emeralds nice and easy there in the nether. We got some valuable ores, but the main thing really is these broken spawners down here. 8 of them, 8 blaze spawners plus 5 that I've captured and can place down. Also found one of these in a chest, so going to give that an eat, of course. Yum, yum, yum. We now have 2 hearts. Awesome. We have to craft more of those. You can craft more. This I'm saving for Ren. And you can see all the other cool stuff right here. I do believe there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I mean, we've got a lot of wands, loads of biome thingies. Ah, yes, these charms. We can actually equip these charms. Some of them sound very interesting. And this one I really liked. And its durability goes down very quickly. And wow, it made the sound of a potion. We can actually like put that into that slot. I never tried the other slots. It goes into all of them. Fascinating. Problem is fart bubbles. Fart bubbles in my face, which I'm not too keen on, to be fair, and it changes the field of view permanently. So I tell you, it would be a really cool modded thing to have speed potions that don't change your field of view. I would love that. Be ever so cool. Anyway, there's the next step. I just can't remember what it is. Now I remember. We need a zombie pigman for gold. And we're going to take the baby. Why not? If we were to take this guy, he might actually spawn each and every time from the spawner with this armor on. If he did, that might be a way to duplicate items. If you've given the items to the pigman, he would drop them every time. Possibly a way to make like a diamond armor farm. Who knows? Anyway, the next thing we've got to find is a silverfish. Wow, this item takes up a lot of the screen, doesn't it? Does it look big when it's in your hand? Oh my god, it looks massive. Look at that. Oh, that's crazy. I'm on my way to the stronghold, which is off in that direction. Thought I'd drop by the Ren Diggity Dog's base to give him a little present, and noticed all of this fancy voodoo modded Minecraft machinery going on. This looks amazing. Are they like all individual items that have been stacked? That looks like the stuff that drops from squid. Is this a squid farm? Cooked calamari. Yes, it is. Wow, this looks so cool. There's definitely some things I can learn from Ren here. Ah, and these are capacitor banks that have been joined together. The texture's joined to make one big bank, and he's got his... That's adorable, little baby pigs going over here. This is... Oh, I'm going to spend a while looking around at this. I think he's spotted me now. He's digging a trench. I've got something for you, Ren. Enjoy. There's a giant cake on the ground. Well, I've been distracted. I thought I'd pop through here into the end as the quick way back using the portal, and now I've found myself mining this stuff, and there is loads of it, so much of it that my XP levels has just been whirling up here. Look at that, 33 in no time at all, and just a constant sound of XP rolling in all the time. Thought I'd carry this thing up here because it's the best power source that we've got, and boy oh boy is that thing going fast. Awesome. I put in an upgrade. We've got all of these things attached to it. It's probably draining energy out of here, but not that much. Sweet. Well, it looks like we're going to get these two made pretty quickly. Oh yeah, and here's the wireless receiver, by the way. Because there's redstone there, it also means that a shulker wouldn't teleport to that block, so that setup works just fine. I'm collecting some slime balls for slime channels to go in our farms, and I thought I'd show you this. Something has clearly gone wrong here with the terrain generation. We got trees inside of slime trees, and some cheaty snow. Let's get rid of it. Boom. See you later. We are getting there now, and I'm not going to moan about how long it's taken me, because actually, I'm pretty organised now in this game. You know, we've got our expanded inventory, I know all the tools quite well, and I've been making a few trips back and forth collecting materials, and it's all gone pretty good so far, and now we're about to get the farms up and running. I've just been crafting some of the octadaic capacitors, which are going to help very much down here, and you can see that we're getting real close to being done. I just want to refresh my memory though. I believe... No, I know what I'm doing here. In fact, I can barely even see it. I'm pretty sure we're all ready to go. So I put one spawner in this room, one in the other, and I don't know which way they are around. Aha. And above that, we then need our Ender IO pipe. Aha. And above that, an ender chest, which means I think that I've actually built the ceiling technically too tall, and I'm not even going to fuss about that. Doesn't bother me anymore, that kind of stuff. Boom. Did I get rid of it? I don't think I actually did. It's a very narrow gap. There we go. So there's the fuel. It should be going down into there. We have to configure this though, don't we? Okay, let's upgrade that and then upgrade the one below it. And then we'll need to put our receiver on the side with some redstone paste, but otherwise this thing is now running. And what one is this? I don't know. I guess we'll find out in a second. I've realised the error of my ways here. It's a silverfish spawner. We haven't set the thing to kill them yet, so I've just disabled this pipe for now. Let's go down there and clonk these guys in the head with our swords. So these guys drop iron. Do we get any iron then? Silverfish drop iron, right? I'm not seeing any iron come from them there. Well, here we go. I've been waiting for this moment. Waiting a long time because it is very, very slow. Let's take a step back. And it is regular pigment and a baby one as well. Fascinating stuff. And now they're going to get attacked. And who will they be angry at? It kind of looks like they're angry at me, actually. They're all looking at me now, even though I haven't killed them. Ah, yes, these will drop XP. That's something else I've got to deal with in these farms. And we get an incredibly low amount of gold for that, which we can increase if we change the thing that we're using down here, which is this. This is identical to the one that we have in the other farm. I went and made 3 of these that are completely new. They got the unbreaking, level 5 on, so they never break, and they got all the right extra things. Don't know what you call them on there. But what was I saying? Fortune free, I think we need to put that on there, so it'll need to level up. But here's the thing, that's incredibly slow at spawning. This one's really fast, so there's some sort of value for the type of mob that it is, which means maybe that's not the best way to go about, and maybe a different mod would be better for working with pigmen. So this thing goes a lot faster. I'm in, You sort of saw the speed a little bit on the other one. It ticks over a lot slower than that. And already we have got 31 iron ingots from this farm. So I'm going to leave this one running. But the gold one, I think I'm going to turn off. I believe it is currently a waste of power. This thing is, look at that, 15% since we've been recording. Extremely slow. The way that I'm going to turn it off, though, is with the wireless transmitter, which I haven't installed yet. So let's get that installed, and then I think we're almost done here. Aha, there's our control panel. Not too pretty, really, is it? Anyway, let's pop down below. There's one last thing I'm going to do to this spawner right here. And check it out. We've got a setup like on the other side. So there are filters to put the items in. We're going to put a torturino on this thing, make it run a little bit faster and get tons and tons of iron. Let's just put it on this side over here. Give it a little right click and then click it a bunch more times. And bam, this thing should be running 4 times as fast now. And it is clearly going a lot faster. But I've got a little bit of news because my playtime here has concluded. And now I'm going to be AFKing for some more blaze rods, but we have plenty stored up. And the only thing I'm going to leave running now is the iron farm. So this thing is going to burn through some of our blaze rod supply and convert it into iron, which is cool. But this is sort of our last episode in this base, so to speak, as the next episode we'll be moving out and joining Iskau, Efo and Rendog and becoming part of the base buddies. I just needed to get myself to a point with resources and understanding for what we're going to do next. And I feel like I have now reached that. And this is actually sort of almost finished. I could probably do a little bit of decorating up the top here. But otherwise, you know, it's been fully built, so to speak. And now it is time for us to move out. But anyway, that is going to be it from me at this episode of Hermitcraft, modded Hermitcraft, you know, Hermitpack. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. As always, thank you for the support. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.